Welcome to Spin Sessions, the platform to have an open conversation, not just with the spinners, the superstars that they are, but as well as the spectators, the promoters. This is a conversation between us as a whole community, the landscape of this spinning movement, this culture that is not only exploded on the South African scene, but now is officially on the international scene. We got spinners traveling not just locally, but internationally, showcasing South African talented individuals at their best. This is Spin Sessions. Sessions Friday, you know it's a good day. Why not? If not, this week we got a big personality, big man, and even bigger skills beyond any E30 spin car. The one and only original Vaaitjie, aka Vaaitjie Kunene, aka Vaaitjie the landlord. What's it, Vaaitjie?
Thanks for having me on Spin Sessions, Vic. It's an honor to be here.
It's an honor for us to have you here, man, for real, no doubt. Vaaitjie, I don't know where to start with you because you've been doing this thing for a while and you dominate the pitches. I don't even know exactly where to head this conversation off. But from a comical point of view, why do you hide your dreads when you got such nice dreads there, ba?
Yes, Vic, you know, the dreads is long now, so it's always in the way. So I'm trying to hide it always and just keep it out of my face and things.
From a technical point of view, if you hadn't tied it down, when you're spinning, would it get in your way if you're moving and stuff?
It must be. I will probably lean against it somewhere or it will go somewhere, Vic, but it's long now, yeah.
Vaaitjie, I remember doing an event with you in Dickie was still blessing us with his presents. It was out in Vereniging and you had just started growing dreads.
The small sticks like this on my head.
So how long is it now if you had to let it loose? How long?
It's maybe just almost touching here, Vic.
My behind the scenes people, we gotta get some footage of that. Because I realized when we were in Cape Town together at Rebel Shire Mode, I was like, man, I haven't seen this man's dreads in a while. It must be pretty long.
No, it's quite long now, Vic. But yeah, it's in a way. Sometimes you, I said, you lean against it or something. You feel like you want to break your own neck.
Vaaitjie, let's talk a little bit about your own event space and venue. How did that come about? Obviously, you know, you've been living in that area for a long time. What made you build your own event space?
Well, Vic, I saw spinning on the streets and I saw other venues like that time it was, what was the...
Jeff James one, Kocha.
No, this association you were supposed to, MSA.
Oh, Motorsport South Africa, yeah.
Yeah, so Monday was that time on board and they said, no, we must make a pitch. And that time they said only a circle, guys who like it in circle. So we started in a circle at my space. After that, I said, no, the car's getting too much powerful. You need a bigger space. So eventually, after all these years, I made a bigger space, but I made it in my yard because I love spinning, actually. I love the smell of tires and the adrenaline it gives me. So I was wanting to be one of that guys. If you wake up in the morning, you can jump into your own car and just do your thing in the backyard without going to events and doing it on the streets. Because Metro, they always wanted to lock me up when I'm spinning down the road. So then I said to my mom and them, I I don't want all the blue lights every time. So yeah, eventually they built me my own beach in my own yard.
And how successful has that been, not just for you as a spinner, but for your family as a business? Because you've hosted quite a few big events at your place.
Well, Vic, it takes time to build. Consistency is key. And just when I built my place nicely up, about last year, in the beginning, I was going to make my birthday celebration bash. And then the rain just came down and flooded my whole place like for a year. It's only starting to dry up now in 2024. So for a whole year, I was basically no business, nothing, just water under my pitch and things. So yeah, it was a hard knockdown basically for working. But yeah, I want to reopen now for 2024. So slowly but surely, things is falling back into place.
Do you have any desired date that you'd like to have your first event for 2024?
We're going to host Vaaitjie Kunene on the 1st of June.
Nice.
So it's an annual big event we host at Vaaitjie's place.
Yeah.
So yeah, 1st of June we're going to host our first, well not our first, I think it's the 7th annual Vaaitjie Kunene.
Yeah, so it's a good event. I dubbed you the landlord of that event at your own spot. I remember that.
Yes, Vic. So yeah, 1st of June is going to be, so hopefully this year and next year things will be better than, you see sometimes you get a ball thrown at you, and if you catch it missed, you go down and you must just build yourself back up again.
Yeah, you got to keep, it's not how many times you fall, it's how many times you get up and keep the fight going, bro. You just got to get up and continue throwing punches. Vaaitjie, let's talk a little bit about your spinning career. When did you start spinning?
Vic, that's a question I get a lot. If I must remember, yes.
It's been a while because I remember like the beginning.
Vic, I was one of the youngsters amongst the older guys when it was Bokkie and when they were still youngsters, Bokkie, Derek, Westside Runners, who's that guy? Niger crew. A lot of crews back in the days. I was still a youngster of them.
Spartans, I remember all those peeps, yeah?
Yeah, their children are basically my age now, so Vic, 15 years, that is, I think.
It's crazy how time has flown. I sit here and I have good conversations with like-minded spinners and people of influence in the spin industry, and you realize that, we've actually been doing this for, well over 2 decades already, and the people we looked up to have been doing it even longer than us. It's crazy how time has flown by.
Time is flown by, Vic. So yeah, 15 years I think is a minimum. I think it can be longer in the game, but yeah, I think longer than 15 years, Vic.
Do you remember the first spin car you built or had to spin? And what setup was it running?
Well, my first car when I started spinning was E36.
Oh, wow, okay.
So I saw the guy spinning on the street, so I said I also want to spin a box shape. So I was spinning an E36 before I started spinning E30. Then I swapped my E36 for a clean E30, then I started spinning. It was black in color. Yeah, that was many years ago, Cabriolet.
Oh, was it a Cabro?
A drop top, yes.
So the Cabro essentially is kind of heavier than the normal coupe because there's extra like infrastructure to hold the roof.
Yes.
When the roof is down, kind of weird like that. Do you prefer E30 over E36?
Most definitely E34 door. I love it. The 2 doors, they're all right, but they're not. For me, the handling is different and they don't flip so easy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 4-door flips like smaller circles, as a 2-door flips a bit wider.
It's an interesting aspect. I never thought about that. You're one of the spinners that takes a lot of time in preparation of his spin car, especially when it comes to weight reduction. I see a lot of spin cars in the pits, and yours is, it's gone on a serious weight reduction. Why do you choose to take so much out of your car and cut up as much as you can?
Weight to ratio, Vic, and I'm also a heavy guy, so if all that extra weight is here, the car it's suffering. The engine is working much harder, yeah. So I cut out the weight, so I'm the only weight in the car.
You're a heavyweight in personality and skills.
So I put the weight.
Personality and skills.
I put the weight in the car.
Have you ever been able to weigh your car and plus minus know what it's weighing in at?
I don't cut a lot out, Vic.
Take that back, Vaaitjie. You cut a lot out,
It's just the back and maybe the doors here and there, so there's not a lot.
Vaaitjie's not necessarily telling you the whole entire. He cuts alles out. I've seen these guys, alles. Everything that is not needed to be there is cut out.
Wait, Vic.
You've done a lot of events in and around South Africa. What are the events that you look forward to on your yearly calendar?
The events these days is not like it's always been. So some events that you used to look out for and check, yeah, this year it's coming certain time. It's not like that anymore. The host and things, they change, man. They don't consider you and all your things that, yeah, we all know it's for this love and the sport and it's for but you also need that compensate just to cover your costs these days. Was done. So the events that I was for 2024 that I looked up for was Red Bull. Competed in the Red Bull for 2024. That's a highlight for me for 2024. I don't know which big event is coming up for 2024. Like I said, the events it's big, but there's so many events, you don't know where to go.
You know, as much as promoters have their own expenses, so do the spinners.
Most definitely.
And because the level of spinning talent has elevated so drastically in the last 5 years, you know, you also got to now put a lot of more effort into making sure your car's performing at its peak. And that takes time and money.
Because there is guys with money and their cars is strong. So especially some youngsters, they have a lot of money, have strong cars. But so you as a old veteran of the game also have to compete with the power, and you also have to keep your car up to standard where you compete with the big guys. Because if you have a weak motor and things, you're gonna compete with the guys that's only starting now. It's like you only starting to spin. So your car has to be on peak. You have to, if the guys is running 300 kilowatts, you have to run 250 just to be up the tail. So yeah.
Do you feel that the power has changed the storyline of spinning? You know, I remember when we used to spin, it was, okay, you know, we're taking it back a couple of years. It wasn't necessarily about power. It was more about the skills you had as in precision driving as well as stunts. Do you feel the power game has changed the storyline of spinning?
In a certain way it did, because you're moving more to like drifting now. Because now the guys, they want top speed, like drifters entering a corner at 200, 150, 160. So they are changing the game. The only thing is they don't use e-brakes. So they want to go drifting, but with all that power. So we just need not underpower cars, but a good certain amount of power can make it still to spin first, second, third gear. You don't have to go 4 and 5 like the guys is going, because you can't enter obstacle in gear number 4 and 5. If you might show me you entering a kitchen in gear number 4 or 5, then I'll gladly come shake your hand.
Do you think event venue spaces, the bigger ones like Mahem out in Pretoria, Team Saluki's Maropeng venue, which is a pitch, but a fairly large pitch, which has enabled spinners to obviously engage in third, fourth gear. Do you think those pitches like oval tracks, the Rock Raceway, has forced the spinner to look at, you know, high-speed entries of third and fourth gears?
It forced definitely to change the game, because now you can't, well, most of the spinners maybe will have short ratios. Now you have to change your car to compensate bigger tracks and smaller tracks, because some guys, if you have underpower, they will normally just change the gear and the diff ratio. The car still makes a bit power, but it spins in that second and third gear. But now where you have to go in bigger pitches, you can't engage that because your limiter is keep on cutting. So yeah, I think they did force us a bit too.
And where do you feel your strengths lie as a spinner as well as an entertainment? Is it in a smaller mid-sized track or the bigger tracks like the oval tracks?
I'll say the smaller the middle-sized tracks, because the people can interact more with the cars and they can feel that adrenaline and they can feel that smoke. By bigger pitches, yeah, you sit on the outer side, but it's safer for you. But you don't feel that adrenaline, and we as spinners don't actually get that adrenaline rush like we used to on smaller pitches. Because if you spin in the street, example in Soweto, that people is running, they are close to the cars here by you. So you must also look at not bumping them, but they also know they must move.
Sure.
You see.
A trained crowd, in other words, a trained crowd.
As you are going, they are moving with you. So that also as a spinner gives you a different feeling inside of the car, and you entertain the crowd more. As on a bigger pitch, it's like it's just you in the car, and yeah, there is people watching you, but you don't get that interaction and that love of, yeah, you get that love, but you don't feel it. Example, like if I go to Wheels and Smoke, if that people jumps and they run from the crowd and they jump over my car, it feels it feels like you're a movie star, understand? Because that love they get for and the passion they have for that and the adrenaline you giving them from a smaller pitch is much more than a bigger pitch for me.
I like what you said. You are a movie star, Vaaitjie. If you don't know it, I'm telling you,
No, thanks,
you're
Vic.
our movie star.
Thanks,
Every
Vic.
weekend, you're producing your own short film for us, and we appreciate you.
Thank you, Vic.
Vaaitjie, let's talk a little bit about Red Bull Shire Motor, which you were a contestant in this year. There was a lot of controversy and rumors and a lot of things flying around, which I want to just dwell into a little bit. And I'm going to hit you up with some straight, hardcore questions. And if you want to answer them, you can. If you don't, I respect that.
I know I'm open to any question. Vic.
First and foremost, you were a driver. You were based from Joburg, traveling down to Cape Town. Did you feel any aggressive, unease behavior towards you? Did you feel like you were being intimidated by anybody else out in the pits?
Well, for me, it was an opportunity to go to Wheels and Smoke. I was one of the selected drivers amongst everyone who entered for the videos. And when we got there, coming from Joburg, going up to the coastal area, your car, everything. So I didn't notice, well, I dyno-tuned my car before I went to Cape Town. I didn't know it's going to give me problems down there because
Sure.
The previous time when we went there to Kalani, they also had something in Cape Town for Razor Customs. I went with my M20 and it didn't give me any problems. My car was even stronger there. It revved clean, it was nice. So this time I went with a multi-valve. I had some problems. Okay, I had my first qualifying round. Car gave a bit stress. Sorted it out, could save it for the second qualifyings. Did the qualifyings, I qualified. I did my best. So yeah, and then the next morning, got to there by the Kennel Walk. I meet up with the first Cape Town driver. He's unhappy because of the results.
Yeah.
He says, no, today there's going to be trouble. I ask him, how can you say there's going to be trouble? He says, no, the judgment panel is wrong. And some people that made it into the qualifyings that was not supposed to make it, so they already give us, they said a threat in the, how can I say, in the morning, there's going to be trouble.
Oh, really?
If the judges and things are not going to sort it out. So we were sitting and we were all just preparing our cars. I had my own stress as I made it for the top 8 qualifyings. I had to go try to get someone to retune my car and to the climate difference there, so I had some problems. So yeah, but like I said, and then after that, it was just Cape Town guys not treating us good. Look like we are from out of town. But the first day when we got there, they treated us all nice and they welcomed us nice. But the second day, it was like they changed us against us, like we are not from here, we are dogs actually. So it's like bad attitudes against us. They don't want to talk to us. Everyone is in their own space. So then I already said to Yamis, hey, can you see what's going on here? Also one of my guys that's in Red Bull, he also had problems with his car from Joburg also. So he unfortunately didn't make it, but he didn't make a big scene and fight. And so the other Cape Town drivers that didn't make it, they were not happy. And it wasn't a pleasant outcome.
That was my next question. So obviously it took away from your experience, and obviously, were you ever like worried about your safety, or did it just take the prestige of being a part of this major league platform away from you? Or
Vic, anybody that's in your shoes and you're from out of town and you get a threat, you won't be happy to be around there. You will take your things as soon as possible and you want to go. It already puts your mindset into a different thing. You are in danger here. So if you are in danger, are you going to stay there or are you going to go? So yeah, they tried. The Red Bull, the security was there. They even bring in extra securities just to make sure all the drivers, because obviously some of the other drivers also, even from the location where they slept, they already got calls and people telling them they must go home and threaten them. So it wasn't a pleasant day the next day. But the security, the Red Bull, they saw these things that's going on. They bring extra security for our spinners because some of our spinners were not happy. They wanted to go, the Joburg guys. Even Nelspruit, Nelspruit is far.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sam even wanted to go the morning already.
Of that actual event?
Of that actual event of Red Bull, yes, because of the threats and things.
Do you obviously feel that the politics that spinning brings, and not just the Red Bull Shire motor, but in general, it takes away and tinges our sport at the best of times, at the best moments?
We all want to be champions, Vic, and that things can takes it away, like I said, but we all want to be champions. We all want to go into this thing, and we all want to be a part of something that is big. Even if you are a newcomer, old comer.
Do you feel Red Bull Shire Motor as a platform has achieved its goals of creating something that catapults people's careers?
Well, Vic, it can make your career go bigger, and because that is everybody watches worldwide Red Bull. If you're on a Red Bull TV platform, even just to be there, you're already a winner. There's guys that didn't even enter. Well, they were nobody before they entered Red Bull, and just because they entered Red Bull, they are amongst the top drivers because he was good of a certain run, and he pushed his name up because of Red Bull. So yeah, I think it's a good platform, and well, it's for the youth that's still coming, for the youngsters.
Sure.
We as older generation spinners, we are opening the doors for the youth that is coming. So we as old ones, we all want to be the champion, to say, hey, Vaaitjie is number one,
Sure.
Vic is number one, Bokkie is number one. But in spinning, when you enter competition, we want cleanness. If you are the champion, my man, and you are the best, and claiming you are the best, there's no room for errors.
Sure.
No room, even if you're under which amount of pressure, you must handle it, and there must no room for errors. Then I can say you are the champion. Because we all bump, no matter which best driver you are, sometimes you enter a corner too fast, you hit the back. It happens, my man. It happens.
Well said. I'm going to talk a little bit about Yoram Yummies that you mentioned. You took Yoram under your wing about just prior to COVID, I think 5 years ago already. How was that relationship as being a coach, a mentor, and as well as his partner and teammate? Has it been matured over the last few years?
Well, when Yami started with me, Vic, he just wanted to be a mechanic and also wanted to spin, but he first wanted to learn how to fix and build his cars. So it took some, like you said, it's 5 years now. And eventually to see someone I groomed coming out of my hands, teaching, basically, it's a big, how can I say, a milestone for me that I reached, because he's also a youngster. He was not a poster boy, he was nothing. And coming from my hands and teaching him, pushing him, and he's a poster boy. He entered Red Bull. I think it's the second time now already. So Red Bull can make you big, or it can make you not to be big.
Sure.
Depends how you want him.
There's no room for error at Shire Motor. There's several cameras, and it will show you your mistakes as well as your accomplishments. So it either highlights your creativity as a talented spinner, or it also highlights your inability to be a precision driver. Well said. I like that plenty. You've got your own area. You've got your own events, space, and you've been a good mentor to Yoram as Yummies. Would you ever look at possibly opening up a school for up-and-coming spinners and teaching them and taking your coaching side of Vaaitjie and exploring that option more?
I would love to open a spin school, Victor. I get a lot of people phoning me and asking me I must teach them how to do it. But it costs money.
Okay.
So to build another car and just to have it for them, it can bring you in some money, but you must first build one that can accommodate 20 to 30 people, because each driver is not the same.
Sure.
So I can give you my car, but tomorrow you break it because you clutch 3 times more than I engage my clutch.
Sure.
Or understand. So it costs money to build something. I would love to because I can see there's people people they want to be like Vaaitjie, taking it to the limit.
So Vaaitjie, as much as you've got your own spot, and I'm going to say this respectively, I find your personality and you as a spinner, your real backyard is actually wheels and smoke in my eyes, because you own that space every time you go out there, whether it be a Thursday night practice, midweek session, Sunday session, or a big event. You have got wheels and smoke as a spin area dialed in.
Wheels and Smoke, I'm supposed to be the owner actually, Vic. Mr. Monde don't want to give me a raise, or even a raise. Now, Vic, I've been at Wheels and Smoke since they opened day one. I've been pushing Wheels and Smoke with Mr. Monde and his team. Just as hard as he pushed Wheels and Smoke, I've been pushing Wheels and Smoke. Many bodies, many cars against Wheels and Smoke's walls. If you know
It takes
Vaaitjie,
no prisoners. The Wheels
Yes.
and Smoke wall, it takes no prisoners.
To learn that pitch, it took some cars and bodies. So, small example, like on Sunday, Easter Sunday, revved up. Skopas is back in the game. I'm happy he's back in the game. He tried to enter the kitchen there where Vaaitjie's kitchen is, and he bumped his car. The car is on the back section. He hit it hard. It's skew. Nothing you can do. Everybody asks you always, Vaaitjie, why your car looks so at the back? In front it's nice. Yeah, I know in front, because as long as the nose is all right, the car can go. But the back section, it happens, Vic. It happens.
You know, you always, if you want to be a professional or great at whatever you do in life, whether it be, whatever, a mechanic, a spinner, an accountant or lawyer, you always got to push your boundaries.
No, most
Because
definitely.
if you wanna climb the highest mountain, you got to find the highest mountain to climb. So for you to become a phenomenal spinner, well, then you got to take those ultimate risks to make sure that you're able to execute that stunt or that move perfectly. If you don't do it, you're never going to find out.
And like I said, Vic, especially when you see the youngsters doing it, and you as, how can I say, one of the elders of the game, you can't even do it. So then they want to ask you, where did you start to learn how to spin if I can do it? So you have to show them new tricks. Even though you're the old dog, you have to show them new tricks. You see, they mustn't show you new tricks.
I must say, those two entrances, I know quite a few spinners have gotten it down, but those two entrances, when you did like a butter and a bread or a side to side from one entrance to the other entrance, man, you got it down, boy.
Yeah, it's not easy, Vic, even though it looks easy. That's why they're all trying it. So yeah, that pitch can eat your car, especially that two entrances.
Vaaitjie, if money was an option and you had to rebuild a fresh E30 and finances was an option, let's say you landed a good sponsorship or capital contribution towards it, what would be the ultimate spin car, and what engine, gearbox, diff, what would that look out for you?
Vic, with the new technology, I think Drift Brothers on Red Bull, I think I will build myself one of their kind of cars. I will get them to manufacture for me something, because he's also how can you say, an engineer in his own way.
Yeah.
So that car, that is something I'll build for myself. 1,000 horsepowers. Yeah.
I just want to explore a little bit more so that we can give the viewers some backdrop. So Elias Utunji is one of the two brothers that run Red Bull Drift Brothers. Currently, they drift modified M4s, massive epic machines, but their OG, especially Elias's OG drift car, is an E30 box shape, and he brought it down for Red Bull Shai Motor. Big shout out to Red Bull for making sure that happens. And what Vaaitjie is talking about is Elias Utunji has a 4-door that is molded into a 2-door. It has a 7.4 liter GM LSX V8 motor, and if that wasn't enough power, he's also got a naughty little nitrous bottle to push it over 1,000 Newton meters of torque. Sequential gearbox, all the goodies and
all
the
the
bags.
goodies you can wish for, Vic.
So who do you think currently in South Africa owns and spins the most powerful car? And it's a spin car, not a drift car. Who do you think has got the strongest motor in terms of kilowatts and torque?
Vic, there's a lot of guys that have strong cars. Austin has a strong V8. Saluki has strong cars. Virose, they have strong cars. Shunesh have strong cars. There's a lot of guys having strong cars, my man. That's why I said if you want to compete amongst the big dogs, you have to spend.
So traditionally, and this is my opinion, traditionally I figured you need about a solid, strong 160 to 180 kilowatt spin car.
Yes.
You know, I also, and I paid the school fees in this, I also feel spin cars should be normally aspirated, because turbocharged cars create in excess of heat, which in a spin car, because you're not driving like in a circuit or a drag racing car, there's no air, no real air coming through the engine. So any spin car gets hot, no matter if it's a M20, multi-valve, V8, V6, VQ, they all get warm. So I always said, you know, to be a competitive spinner, you need about 160 kilowatts on a proper dyno, over 300 Newton meters of torque. But now, Oaks are making much more than 160 kilowatts.
So it's also making the game difficult for them. Like I said, you can't enter an obstacle in gear number 4. Sure. Even though with all that power, it's different to enter your obstacles. If you are an open space driver, yeah, you can put even 500 kilowatts. You can enjoy yourself. But if you go to a competitive point of view where you have to do obstacles and things, I will say an underpower car is much better than that 300, 400 kilowatts you wanting. I can rather spin over 130 kilowatts and 250 newtons, and I can guarantee you my obstacles is going to be clean with you with your 600 kilowatts wants to compete.
Let me ask you a simple question. As a spinner as well as an engine, when you build your own spin cars, which overpowers the other? In other words, do you think let's use an E30 box shape, do you think it's more important to have a, let's say, 250 kilowatt motor, or do you think the setup of the car is more important? In other words, diff ratios, gearbox choice, suspension, dialing in the suspension, the weight of the car, which is more important to you as a spinner?
For me, setup, Vic. Because me, I'm an obstacle I like to do obstacles and to go into small spaces. So you can't go in with a, like I said, 300, 400 kilowatt car. You're going to struggle. Yeah, it's going to make a lot of smoke. But if you're going to enter on that speed, it's different. You see, it's a different category where you want to play. So me, I like to do obstacles, set up my car, lightweight, obstacles, quick. Now, the guys, they want short ratios. I like a ratio that's in between. I want to push it through the second gear. If I want to go to third gear, I can go. But I like to play in my power gear, second gear, at long ratio.
Vaaitjie, let's talk about ladies in the game. Obviously, there's been certain ladies that have been spinning for a couple of years now. We'll mention Kayla, Stacey, Tina. How do you feel the sport being male-dominated currently? Do you think it intimidates girls that want to get involved in spinning, or it attracts them?
In the one side, I think it attracts them, and on the other side, I think it intimidates them. But there's ladies that can drive, my man. There's ladies that can drive better than some men.
Yeah, absolutely.
So they mustn't feel, if they love sport and they love cars and they love burning rubber, they must join. They mustn't be scared. If that's what they love and the passion is for burning tires and rubber and smell of petrol and things, they must be there.
I'm gonna close off with this. So I'm gonna bring it back to Red Bull Shire Motor. It's a huge platform. And we've had girls compete amongst the men in that platform. I get a lot of feedback saying Red Bull Shire Motor should also have a female category. Do you feel that it's essential in building the sport as well as the platform?
Most definitely, Vic. You can't compete a female against the male because, yeah, you can compete, but it's always, they feel like it's unfair maybe because it's a male against the female. And you don't know the crowd maybe or how the judge can be that day. Maybe it's the judge is for a male, or
sure,
he can put you through. He doesn't like females, maybe the judge. You don't know, or somebody that's on the panel. We don't know how is what. So I will say they must have their own, just for girls, ladies. They compete against top 16 ladies, or because there's a lot of females actually that's hiding in this game
absolutely,
that you don't actually know of. So if all that females can just come to the front and stop hiding, they can have their own Red Bull Shire Motor for ladies, I think.
Nicely done. Ladies and gentlemen, the big personality that is the one and only Vaaitjie Kunene, the landlord came and we have paid up some rent. Next week, same time, same place, we're throwing down another episode of Spin Sessions, highlighting spinners and people of influence that have molded and shaped this culture that we keep on performing, pushing, and making sure the world notices.